What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
You all right over there?
Yeah.
What a way to start the show. It is, let's call it episode 165. It's the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners. That, of course, seven-time NBA champion Robert Ory. Seer of Seers, who knew that the Mavericks were going to win in 6 and was quick to let everybody know on text that he called it. I told you all Mavericks in 6. So, how are you, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm upright. It's a beautiful day.
Damn
beautiful
straight.
day, Gus.
Sun's out, and I'm standing up, so everything's good. Man, a lot going on. We've got our conference finals matchups. You just tell me where you want to start. You want to start with last night?
You know what? We can start with last night.
Okay.
It was an incredible comeback by the Timberwolves. I never thought that would happen. When I saw it was up 20, I actually turned the TV. and then my son was like, "Man, it's tied up." And Christian said, "What?" I'm like, "Tied up."
Yeah.
I turned back, and it looked like someone was punk drunk. They looked like Tyson Fury. Like, oh shit! It was like,
dude, it was.
So it was.
I turned it on. I was probably like late in the second, and it was just they were running out of the building, and then I watched all the way through, and in the third quarter. The damn Nuggets couldn't buy a bucket in the third quarter. It was like everything they came up with was falling short. They were airballing stuff. It was, how much of that is the Timberwolves defense, and how much is just sometimes shots aren't falling.
I think it was, for me, watching it, it was just shots weren't falling, because you look at some of the shots that Jokic had, it was like, what, 1 for 8 or 2 for 8 from 3 or something like that?
Yeah, it was about 1 for 8.
Yeah, and it was
You
just...
shouldn't be shooting threes anyway, man. Get your ass down to the post. What are you doing?
Yeah, he was just clanking that mug. And for me, everybody always talk about, the superstars. It's always up to the bench. You think about nobody else scored in double figures. You look at Michael Porter Jr., he's always knocking down shots. He had a bad game. Gordon had a bad game. And when those two don't score, they can't win.
It was that second half, because obviously Ant-Man couldn't do anything in that first half.
He was struggling, yeah.
Which is what had them down big, with 10 minutes and, 10 or 9 minutes into the third quarter, they were down by 20. And a part of me thought, like, dang, the Nuggets got a team down by 20. They don't let their foot off the gas. But something told me, in this league, a 20-point lead really ain't nothing, especially with the way teams can go on runs. And the way Ant-Man was able to not only turn his game up, but he held Jamal Murray to, I think, only 9 points in that second half.
Yeah, Jamal Murray had 5 points and 11 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
Damn.
Just in the fourth quarter.
It was crazy. The way that the way that the tide can turn in each half, in every quarter. They always say basketball is the game of runs, and whoever can go on that run last, that's it. That's the team that usually wins the game. And the fact that you let Minnesota back in this game, once Minnesota got this thing back within 5 or 6, I said Denver in trouble.
Yeah. Third quarter, they only let them score 14 points. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that was really it. It was that third quarter swung everything, man.
Yeah, it was a slugfest, man. Think about that. Even though they took a lot of bad shots in that second half and then knocked down shots, it was a good game. It was an exciting game. I like good basketball. I know a lot of people want to see a high-scoring game. No, I want to see a grinded-out, hard-to-score game, because defense is what wins championships, man. You got to play. You got to be able to stop somebody at some point.
Yeah, it was a fist fight. I liked it.
And look, a broke clock is right twice a day. anytime you got Rudy Gobert taking fadeaway jump shots and it goes in, dog, just go ahead. Hey, just go ahead and shake everybody's hand and say, hey, bro, y'all move on. Take care of Dallas for us, dog.
Hey, and not only that, he was 4 for 4 from the 3-point line from the free throw line down the stretch. I'm like, okay, Gobert. Me and my son, like, who the hell is that dude in that uniform? Because that definitely ain't Rudy Gobert.
Not the way he played early on. That fadeaway over Jokic, holy crap, dude. I watched that like 30 times because they're showing it from different angles. I think he was more surprised that shot fell than anybody. Like the Timberwolves bench was like, it's like they've been struck by lightning. It was hilarious.
Hey, you should have seen the Denver bench. They were like, what the fuck? It ain't our night.
It ain't our night, man. Gobert's hitting shots like that, it ain't our night. Well, let's go back quickly to Game 6 because I wanted to play you some. Game 6, by the way, Timberwolves freaking ran the Nuggets out of the building in Game 6.
They needed to.
And Ant-Man knew it early on. He knew it in Denver.
Did you really tell the locker room staffer in Denver you were going to be back for
Hell
Game 6?
Yeah. They know I was in there. Yeah, I told them. I said, I'll see y'all motherfuckers for Game 7.
That was the end of his post game on Game 6. I told him. What'd you tell him, man?
I'll see y'all motherfuckers for Game 7.
Okay, good. He told him. And then
he surely enough did.
Man, I'm just loving Anthony Edwards so much. And then last night, him and Kat, the post game. Did you see some of the post game stuff with him and Kat? This is freaking awesome. Here. Oh, hold on, let me find it. Yeah, here's the post game last night.
This is for either one of you guys. And usually in NBA history, it says you have to lose and lose big before you win. What is it about this team that says
we lost last year?
Yeah, but that's different. You have to lose at a bigger stage. Usually, teams usually.
It's the playoffs. We lost last year.
We lost the last 2 years. Shit.
God damn. How much more we got to lose?
How much you want us to lose?
We're losing for 20 years.
That's just the truth, dog.
God damn.
Cat and Ant-Man up there together.
Hey, they not lying. Like, bro, we've been losing forever.
20 years.
How much more we got to lose? God damn.
God damn.
Didn't they lose to Denver last year?
Did they lose to Denver last year? I think they did early on. Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
early on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I love Cat.
Why did Cat's voice get so high?
God damn.
They were great last night. That was one of the best post games I've seen in a long time.
No, you gotta play I don't know if you have it, the audio between Barkley and Ant.
Oh, I didn't pull it, but I heard it because Barkley goes, I haven't been to Minnesota in 20 years. And he goes, bring your ass.
He said, bring your ass.
Bring your ass.
Yeah.
Let's go. And then Barkley's asking him for restaurant recommendations.
I find your number and send you some.
Yeah. I'll get your number from somebody. I mean, come on, dude.
The fact of the matter, and I know that people continue to kind of reiterate this, but it's because it's something that you don't see often. He's 22 years old. Now, the average 22-year-old, obviously Ant was one and done at Georgia, but the average 22-year-old in the NBA is still, in a sense, trying to find himself, regardless of how talented he is. You know, you can see talent on a 22-year-old, but you also can see a guy that maybe still trying to find his way.
Experience.
Right, trying to understand the NBA mold and try to find his place. Ant-Man has not only found his place, he's telling you where he's going to go. He ain't asking for permission to go nowhere. I don't care if it's Kevin Durant, who he says he loves dearly. That's his favorite player. But you an enemy, and I'm going to attack you like one. And then when that clock hits 0, we can dap it up and we can hug it up, and then we can go, cool, laugh, or whatever. But while you on this floor, and if you're not wearing my jersey, I don't care how much I like you. I'm going to kill you. And we can smile about it after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think that, you look at it, he's 22, but Kobe was 21 when he won his first chip,
That's
killing
true.
it. He was 22 when he won his second chip.
But those are the exceptions.
Yeah.
My
point is, like, you got these young bucks now. You think about the greats like Michael Jordan, how old I think Michael was like 28 when he won his first chip. You think about Dream in his 30. I'm making a point that you got these young guns that are coming into this league that are trying to get their shit early.
Yeah.
They getting their chips early and be like, okay.
But even when
I was what?
Well, you
I
were
was 24.
Was it your
I was
first year?
24.
Was it rookie year?
I was my second year.
Was your
I
second
was 24 when I won my first championship.
And
so
y'all were older because y'all had to stay in college longer. Mike stayed in college, what, 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he was going to be
But
older.
here's the thing is, this is what people forget, that we went to college young. These guys are 20 years old now when they get into college. So
But,
it's a big difference.
Like, when did Mike come out? Mike came out 84?
84.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Him and
then
Barkley and Elijah
then
Warren.
didn't win his chip till 91.
Yeah.
So that's a stretch, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's 7 years, 6-7 seasons.
Yeah.
Before you win your first.
Can't we forget Cat's young too, though? You know, even though Cat's been in the league,
He's been around a minute. He's been around.
He left after his rookie year. I mean, his freshman season.
Freshman year.
Rob, when did you start kind of feeling, for lack of a better word, comfortable in the league?
I think in my second year in the league is when I started feeling comfortable. And it was really more for me, like after the All-Star break, and I just started feeling comfortable. I just started feeling like, okay, you figure things out. You know, if you watch Ant-Man, his diet wasn't the best when he first got in the league. You know, it's all documented. But now he's starting to figure things out. You know, but I will say this. The only thing I didn't like about that game last night with Ant-Man, he kind of did the LeBron thing where at the end, he's like, just give me the ball and try to go one-on-one instead of just running the offense because, you know, they were able to trap you, which caused you to throw passes away instead of just, you know, when you was able to drive and kick, it made them so much better. Because think about even Nas had a drive and kick. Even all these guys, when you move the basketball, and Denver's too good of a team to just sit there. You know, luckily Denver wasn't making their shots because y'all had some bad offensive possessions when you just stand around watching one guy go to work. They're so much better when they penetrate, kick, and move, and not go into this one-on-one basketball.
Yeah, and they weren't doing it. They weren't doing a ton of that in the third.
Yeah,
not much at all.
Nah, they weren't. But you know, I got to give kudos to Minnesota because like you said, there were a lot of crucial rebounds that they got that they needed. A lot of second chance opportunities, keeping the ball alive, keeping it on their side of the floor, and even just every second, you know, when it comes down to that period in time of the game, every second matters. So every second you can hold on to the ball and continue to drain that time down is pivotal. And the fact that they were able to get some of those crucial rebounds, you know, salute to Cat, salute to Rudy Gobert. You the defense player of the year, bro. You need to do those things.
Yeah.
Because there was some point in times in the game where I was like, dog,
get him out.
What's he
Get him
doing?
out.
But
do we need to sit you
down? I thought Cat was great last night, though. Like when Edwards was struggling, and you just weren't. It seemed like he just kind of picked it up. It was just like, look, if I have to run this thing, I'll run this thing.
Right.
And he played exactly the role he needed to play last night. When they were locking down Anthony Edwards, he just stepped up and said, "I'll be the guy." And he was the guy last night. You know what's
weird though? All of the experts talk about how much the Knicks play their starting five. We forget the Denver bench was awful this year. Yeah. They put a lot on their starting five to go out and perform. And I think it kind of hit home with, you know, especially Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., Caldwell Pope. I think it kind of, those guys, because they struggled in that game. You know, Michael Porter Jr. was only 3 for 2, 1 for 6 from 3. And I know everybody talking about the Knicks, they only playing this way, they playing Tibbs, playing that, like, you know, the Denver does it the same way. Minnesota's pretty much the same way too. And so I don't want anybody to keep talking about, you know, I know the Knicks got their hand, he got his hand broken and stuff like that.
Brunson,
Brunson. But everybody down the stretch only plays 5 to 6 guys. So everybody need to get off Tibbs because every team in the league is like that. Because if you want to get to the promised land, you're going to put the onus on your starters and the next man off the bench. You're going to go too deep now unless you got a deep roster. So they need to get off my boy Tibbs.
Yeah, they were all over him. Damn. Everybody's throwing rocks at him today. But briefly, before we get to the Eastern Conference Finals, Mavericks did get it done. We mentioned at the top of the show. Mavs closed out OKC. You kind of, Rob, you sort of said early on in the series, you thought OKC, lack of experience, young team, hasn't really been there. Is that what you saw from them in kind of that closing game?
Yeah, they're not experienced. People don't understand. Experience goes a long way. And at the end of the day, OKC, they thrive off that energy and that youth to take them over the top. But when you come to the playoffs, the youth they don't have that extra pull from like the vets. The vets sit back, they're like, oh, this is a 82 grind. We got to sit back and got to get through this to the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, it's playoff time. They have that bowl they can dip in for the extra energy. These young cats, they know they playing like that all year, so they really don't have that extra to pull from. And that's why I just thought that at OKC, and if you really look up, they ain't ready yet, man. They young, they won a lot of games this year, but they ain't ready. And they don't have any veteran leadership over there. They take a lot of bad shots. They don't know how to, just lock down someone defensively. And, veteran leadership plays a huge role when it comes to playoffs. You can have all these picks they got coming up, but they don't have any veteran leadership. They're going to be back in the same position next year.
Yeah, I think these are the type of things, obviously the time had been sped up, obviously, because, you go out and get an SGA. Chet, even though he got hurt his rookie year, second year out, plays the way you expect him to. You have so many other guys on that team to step up. Now you probably even speed this thing up a little more where all those culmination of first round draft picks that you stockpile, I would go, if I'm OKC, I know they're young and we're taking this stuff, but yes, they're young, but you're young and you just had the number one seed. And even though you weren't able to win the series, you need to catapult this thing to a whole nother level. It ain't about just going out and drafting dudes anymore. Now you got to stockpile some of those picks and go out there and get you a vet. Go out there and get you a difference maker, somebody who is somebody that can fit in with the youth and the mold that you have there. It can help take you to the next level. This is a good position for OKC to be in because they're in a better spot than I'm pretty sure Sam Presti would have ever thought they would have been in at this moment.
Correct. Yeah. But weird thing about it, it's OKC is reminding me of OKC with the big three they had back in the day. You think about it. You look at that team, you look at KD, he could be Chet, and so far, SGA could be James or, Westbrook. And it's the same team, but they got to keep this team together. And that's going to be the hard part because if you keep getting there and losing, guys don't get disgruntled. I know they put up this facade like, oh, we do everything together as a team. And I hope that is a true facade and they're doing these things and they like each other because you think about it, you got 5 good guys over there that are going to demand a lot of freaking money down the stretch. And, will OKC spend the money to keep them together?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But, I shout out to SGA because, obviously, when you're in the post-game presser, obviously he was like, hey, I shouldn't have fouled PJ Washington when he was taking that 3. But I know that's a tough situation to be in when it's going down the stretch like that and, it's a bang-bang type of play.
Yeah.
You're trying to contest.
It's easy to look
fouling.
back at it and say that.
Yeah.
In the moment.
But guys do have to, it's tough, but, it's a learning experience where guys learning to contest without actually fouling.
Yeah.
If PJ makes that shot, even though PJ Washington played very well in this series.
Yeah, he played really well.
That's a piece that the Mavs had been needing. They needed a guy that can really stretch the floor like he has. But you can test that shot, and if PJ Washington knocks it down, you shake his hand. But making sure that you don't foul in that situation and put your team in a bad place at that point in time of the game is pivotal. But at the same time, they're young. They're a really young basketball team, and he'll learn from it. It's gonna haunt him all season.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
There's always stuff.
We talk about the PJ Washington, but let's give it up to Jones Jr.
Yeah,
but he was pretty much out the league sort of. Yeah. Now his reemergence in the Dallas, give the credit to Jason Kidd too for putting him out there and putting him in the position to succeed. Because a lot of these guys in the NBA, you got to be in the right system. We talked about that, right system, being in the right moment, and having someone to trust in you. Trust and confidence is so important to play in this game, man. Because if you lose it, you're gonna be sitting at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yep.
Now.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask to kind of, I guess, wrap up the whole Western Conference thing, since we got Mr. with the crystal ball over here.
Okay.
Dallas, Minnesota. Who wins and in how many games?
You know, Minnesota wins this in 6.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Yeah, Minnesota
I had
6.
Timberwolves in 7. I have it going 7.
Oh, you got to go
I think. Well, here's the thing. I think this is going to be a fun series.
It's going to be a fun series.
I think, and it's like genuinely, I don't know. Part of me was like not looking forward to watching the Nuggets in a Western Conference Finals again. Just wasn't. I was like, I want something fresh, something maybe a little more younger, a little more exciting, and I feel like Mavericks Timberwolves is going to be a little bit more fun. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the series. I think the series is going to be great. But you know what?
To me, it's going to boil down to, I know Jason Kidd. He's gonna go small and get Gobert out the damn game, and he's gonna go at Cat and get Cat in foul trouble because he know Cat has a tendency to make silly fouls, and so you get him out the game and you go small. You watch, he's not gonna play. He's gonna go small. He's gonna probably put P.J. Washington at the 5, D. Jones, Irving, Hardaway, and Doncic. That's gonna be his lineup down the stretch because he's just gonna put pick and rolls and play fast, and Gobert is gonna be like, well, damn, guys, I'm sorry. I got to sit my ass over here. Why?
That's cool.
Telling you. Yeah.
But guess what? Minnesota also has Naz Reid.
Yeah,
who can get out on that perimeter.
Yeah, I'm just saying the defensive player of the year gonna have his ass on the bench because he can't play. Yeah. He can't play no defense. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's, and I think Naz Reid is such an important piece because, unfortunately, if you got to sit the Defensive Player of the Year award on the bench, which is crazy that we got to continue to think about that.
But it's like accepted at this point with him, which is insane.
Yeah, and I accept those awards back too. If I gotta accept the fact that I gotta sit you down at a certain point in time, I need to accept those awards back on your behalf too. You know what I'm saying? So I think Naz Reid is such an important piece because of what we saw him do with Jokic. So it's like, okay, if I gotta sit one of my big men down because you're gonna go small, I'm gonna put another big man in who can match your small lineup.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's gonna boil down to if Jaden McDaniels can stay out of foul trouble. Because think about it, in this last series, every game they lost, he was in foul trouble.
Right.
So if he can stay out of foul trouble and able to stay in front of Luka, and Luka is a master at getting fouls called on people.
Sure is.
Is he's able to stay in this game and provide some defense and a little bit of offense, Minnesota's going to, win in 6. If they don't, it's going to be a struggle.
I want to see it
boil down to Jaden McDaniels, I think. Not anybody else, but Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah. And I want to see in this series if Ant can get more calls. Because there was some calls. At some point in time, as his superstardom rises, you tend to get a few little calls here and there. It didn't happen this past series. There were some calls that should have been made.
Yeah, a lot of calls.
Yeah.
Here's Ant-Man's problem. I've said this before. Ant, LeBron, Shaq. Those three going to have the problem because they're so physically gifted and they're so strong that the refs say they're going to think you should play through that. But no, a foul is a foul regardless of how damn strong you are. So he's going to have that problem throughout his career. He's just going to have to get somebody on his side and be like, tell everybody, this is what's going on. This is why I can't get to line because they think I'm so physically gifted that I should fight through this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's head to the East. We talked about Tibbs getting bricks thrown at him. Knicks go down, Game 7. I do like that we had a couple of Game 7s, though.
Yes.
I do love a Game 7. I don't know how you feel about a Game 7. As a player, I would imagine you probably don't like a Game 7. But as a fan, I love a freaking Game 7, man.
Hey, one and done. You like that Game 7, man.
I like it.
This is where you see the cream of the crop rise. So I'm cool with Game 7s, especially if I'm at home.
Well, they weren't. Pacers got it done in New York, in the Garden. Sucked the life out of that building. They were up, I think, 22 or something at one point. At any point the Knicks tried to kind of scrap back into it, the Pacers just kind of did this and just pushed them back again. Come back, key bucket, good rebound, and the Knicks and then Brunson got hurt and all kinds of stuff. Now here was the one off that series, that Game 7 that threw me, and I didn't realize it until the game was over. Pacers set a record for the best shooting performance in NBA playoff history. They shot 67% in Game 7. Damn. Best in the history of the NBA playoffs. That'll do it. That'll get it done.
Hey, man, when I saw some of the shots Halliburton was making, I'm like, well, damn.
He almost couldn't miss. There was a stretch where it was
Siakam,
like,
I know. I'm like, and Siakam he took it back to the playoff to the championship years. I'm like, okay, this is why they got you.
Yep. Yeah.
And it was. Let's just give credit to where credit due. They play an awesome game. I don't know if they can have another game like that because every once in a while you have one of those rare occasions where nobody can miss, and it was amazing, man. It was a beautiful thing to watch.
I just kind of like seeing, and it's nothing that I really have, no real thing that I kind of have against them. I just kind of like the way that they react when they don't get their way. I just like seeing New York fans in a frenzy. We were able to witness that firsthand a few years ago with Trae Young. They still utter Trae Young's name in the streets. That man sitting in Oklahoma.
We talked about this on the shoot around last week. They're still mad at Reggie Miller. It's been 30 years. They're still pissed at Reggie Miller.
And so I like to see the look on all New York. Like listening to Stephen A. Smith.
Oh my God.
Spike Lee under his arm, knocking his hat off because Stephen A. was getting all aggressive in the post-game speech he was giving. And to see that
orange
energy,
and blue skies. Oh, dude.
Which I'm cool with. I love the energy, but it's always something about when Knicks fans or New York fans just kind of have to come back down to earth.
Yeah.
They just look a little different.
They all look at each other and go,
God damn!
What just happened?
Hey, you know what's funny about I've never seen, who would have thought that was the NBA Finals? They had every fucking Knick I think they ever played in uniform at games.
Oh, Patrick Ewing was out there. Yeah, Ben Stiller in the stands, dude. Oh, man.
Grandmama, Spree, Starberry,
forget it.
Patrick, Starks. I'm like, I can go
the
on
best though. Hold on, the best though was have you seen the Ewing meme? Somebody took a snap shot of Ewing eating some popcorn. And they just put out, not so easy beating the Pacers, is it? I was like, yep, that'll get you. Ewing in the stands for it. And then, so we get Pacers and the Celtics, who have been off for like a week. I mean, just hanging out. And
they're gonna have to knock the rust off.
I was gonna, but the Pacers. So I don't know. I guess my question for you is, and I think we talked about this when we talked about the 0-1 Lakers, when you guys stumbled out of the gate against Philly because of that reason. Yeah. Would you rather be the team with 6 days rest or the team coming in off of a Game 7 fistfight?
In this situation, me being the Celtics, I would take the rest just so I can get Porzingis back. But if we 100% healthy, I don't want to wait around for someone. And I think if you look at this Celtics team, They needed guys who need the rest. Porzingis needed the rest. Harford needed the rest. Even I think Holiday, to me, he didn't seem like himself, like he needed the rest. So in this case, I think it works out perfect for the Celtics. And I don't think they'll lose any rust. I think because of all the energy and emotion that the Indiana Pacers had to play with, they're going to be a little, they're the team that's going to come in a little, off kilter. So I think the Celtics win this one in 5.
I'm right there with you. Mm-hmm. I think the Pacers are gonna put up a fight. I think Halliburton and them guys are gonna do as much as they possibly can do. Miles Turner, they're gonna put up a fight. These games are going to be a few of these games are gonna be a fight, but I think at the end of the day, Boston just has too much.
They're built for this, man.
They
are built,
and they need to be. Yeah, they are built for it. They just have too much. So I say Boston in 5 as well.
Yeah, I had Boston in 6. I'm one game up on all you guys.
I really think that at the end of the day, Boston really misses the Time Lord because with Hartford being as old as he is and Porzingis being hurt, you needed that extra big in Robert, and they don't have him. I know he stayed hurt a lot. But when he did play for them, he was freaking monsters, blocking shots and getting rebounds. So I think they might miss him in this series.
Yeah. What can Indiana do early in this series to try and avoid? Because I feel like Indiana's going to come in gassed. Like they've got to be exhausted. They had a Game 7 full-on brawl with the Knicks. What do you do early to keep the momentum up? Is Is it rotations? Is it guys coming off the bench? I mean, like, what do you do? What's your game plan?
You're going to hope to play that you don't, you can take that same energy from that last game and bottle it up and take it into this game. You're going to have Halliburton is going to have to come out on fire. He's going to have to look to score to put the pressure on someone to have to guard him, because when you look at Jason Tatum and Brown, they usually don't have to play much defense. So they're able to rest on that end and put that energy on the offense. And I think with, you got Halliburton, he needs to come out and you put some pressure on him. I know that's not their job to guard him, but it's going to put some pressure on Holiday to, play some defense. And it's going to go down to those guards applying pressure to make the Jason and Brown play defense, because nobody wants to play defense on the Celtics sometimes. They just want to come down and jack threes up.
Yeah. And I think I do think Boston, they really, like you said, their rest really helps them, because they really do need to get Porzingis back, because they need bodies down there to deal with Miles Turner. Even though Miles Turner can stretch the floor, his ability down there to block shots, and you need somebody down there who's able, some size down there who's able to contest with him. And, Al Horford, he likes to spread the floor a lot. Al, at this age, ain't somebody who want to really be down there in their paint
throwing elbows.
Yeah. So, and Porzingis he's not that kind of guy either, but I think he's much more fit to do it than Al Horford is. So I think Porzingis, getting him back and seeing where he is health-wise is important for the Celtics, because Miles Turner, who is very, very, very underrated in this league, you don't want to see him getting going and realizing that, hey, y'all ain't got nothing for me. Y'all ain't got nobody down here for me.
Yeah.
And you don't want the Pacers to really get in the mode of saying, y'all ain't got nobody down there for him. We'll just feed him.
A bunch more stuff to get to on this week's show. We're going to play Walmart or Waffle House. Haven't had a round of that in a minute, so we're going to play some Walmart or Waffle House coming up. We were texting with Rob over the weekend because I'm seeing all the Sam Cassell rumors popping up.
Yeah.
And now everything that I've read, and I try to keep up on it for obvious reasons, but J.J. Redick seems to be the name that people continue to push forward. Now, I don't know how much of that is just this is more fun to talk about than a Sam Cassell, but Sam Cassell and who's the other guy? Borrego?
Yeah.
Are
James,
the two like what I've been reading, the other substantial candidates in the mix, like legitimate candidates. If Sam Cassell gets this gig, Rob, is this podcast coming to an end? Because I don't know, he might be getting himself a job.
It's funny. Me and Sam were cool as shit, and he did say if he get that job, he would inquire about me being one of his assistant coaches.
Oh damn!
But I don't know. It'll boil down to numbers for me.
No. You take that. You take that.
It boils down to numbers, man. You got to think about this. I've been asked by Luke Walton to be on the coaching staff, and then the numbers weren't right. Even when it came to some other coaches asked me. To me, it got to be a right fit for me, and it got to be me wanting. I love the coach. I would love to coach. I've always said that when I was even coming out of high school, I wanted to be a coach because I like doing it. I like passing on the knowledge. But at the end of the day, if the numbers ain't right, as far as, financial wise, why do it? If I'm making more in the studio, only working 41 games.
I got you.
Why would I, travel all the time, be away from my family? Because I don't think people understand how much stress that goes into NBA season. I'm not talking about just coaching. I'm just talking about the stress of keeping your family together, having to miss, certain things. And I know my kids will be out from college. We don't have anybody in the house doing recitals and stuff like that. But it plays a toll on you, man, on that road, packing, coming home mad because you've lost a game because, guys aren't doing what they're supposed to do. So does Candace want me to do that? I don't think so. Do my boys want me to do that? Hell yeah. So
And if
who
the
do I
numbers
listen
is
to?
right, Candace wants you to do it. They want to pay you what? If you don't get your ass out this house?
Instead of sitting in the office playing video games like a schlub.
Hey, what's wrong with playing video games in my
nothing.
office?
But I just know that women deride it. That's all I know.
Yeah,
they hate it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nothing will infuriate your spouse more than picking up a video game controller.
Women hate things that bring men happiness that they have nothing to do with.
Wow. Goodness.
Goddamn.
Cat weighing in. Cat jumping in there.
But my thing is, are you cool? You're cooler with Sam. You're closer with Sam than you were Walton. Were you?
Yes. Yeah, I was cool. Cool.
I wonder.
Think about Sam and I.
Sam are pretty tight.
Yeah, we're real tight. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would hope that Sam would, if he gets the gig, he would look out. He'd look out for you, when the numbers are try to get you something that will pull you out your house.
Yeah, and I remember I went into an interview with Vogel to talk about coaching. I really was like, because my contract was up with Spectrum. I said, okay, let me try this. I had a meeting with Vogel, and then Spectrum was like, okay, we're gonna pay you X amount of dollars. I said, all right, Vogel, I'm out to running because it was like
you pulled your name.
Yeah, I pulled my name because it's just like I really.
I didn't know you were. I didn't know you met with Frank to be on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah,
but I think this go around.
I get it. I mean, I get, but I think to B's point, this is Sam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Boy. Like you get to. It's like a little bit of a reunion if the numbers work and it's Sam, and it's Sam's staff. Even if it doesn't work out in the long run, you and Sam got to do something together on that level with the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I really don't think Sam is going to get the job. I hope he does, because there's just so many rumors going around that they're gonna put JJ in there.
I've heard
everything
about that.
And I just think that's going to be the biggest mistake the Lakers can make. Not because it's not JJ can't do the job. It's just he don't have the experience.
No experience, man.
No experience. So he hadn't even been on the sideline. So only time he was on the sideline as a player.
Yeah. Now the recent report that just came out was the Lakers have not had any discussions with LeBron about JJ, or I don't know if they've talked to JJ yet.
Yeah.
So
I don't trust those reports unless it's Woj.
Well, it was Shams.
Shams and Woj, those are the two.
Okay.
If it was Shams, then I would give that credit.
It was Shams that said it.
Okay. Interesting. Well, there's a lot out there, but yeah, I hope Sam at least has a legit shot. I think Sam deserves it. There was a couple weird things that happened around the world of sports in the last week. We'll touch on briefly, right? And then we'll get to Big Shot, and then we'll do Walmart or Waffle House. The Scottie Scheffler arrest during the PGA Championship. I don't know how much of this you even really saw or paid attention to. But
that is so weird to me because it was at night, early in the morning.
Super early in the morning, yeah.
And I don't trust those reports, man. I'll be honest, because for them to arrest you for something like that, you had to do something.
He did do something. Yeah, no, he drove through whatever police barricade they were blocking off traffic because I guess there had been an accident really early in the morning. Someone was unfortunately hit and killed by a car. So there was a huge police investigation. I think that he thought, well, this is them blocking traffic for the PGA Championship. I'm the number one golfer in the world. Get the hell out of my way. And just drove through it. Apparently the cop jumped on his car like freaking Robert Patrick in Terminator. And he dragged him. He dragged his cop for like a half a second, and then he stopped. And then realized, I think this is more than them just trying not to let general traffic through.
Yeah.
And that's why they arrested him. And now the rumor is that all the charges are going to be dropped. But
okay.
He spent the morning in the pokey. There's a mugshot, orange jumper. I'm extremely disappointed.
How the hell did he get? When I saw the orange jumper, I didn't think it was. I was like, how did he put an orange jumper that fast?
Oh yeah, no, and he was out. He was out. He made his tea time.
Yeah,
he made his tea time for Christ's sake. But it's really a missed opportunity for Scottie Scheffler to wear an orange outfit one day one day at the PGA Championship.
I know, that'd be cool as
Orange
shit.
tops, orange bottoms, orange hat.
How about him saying he was just stretching? He said, I'd never stretched before. I was in there stretching, doing my warming
up
routine.
Warming up. People that were apparently in jail with him for the few hours he was in jail thought he was cool as hell and he was being real nice and he was telling everybody it was bullshit that he was in there and stuff. I was like, all right, just a wild scene, man.
I heard about the story, obviously, flipped over to ESPN to hear a little bit, but I guess I just didn't get the full scope of, everything that kind of happened.
Yeah, it's weird.
So that's wild.
It's a wild story. What's the worst run-in you've ever had with the cops?
I've only had one run-in with a cop. I was pulling into a gas station. I was in my Ferrari. I had a Ferrari at the time.
Ooh.
And it was a really deep slope. So I came in and I kind of eased in there because you can't just, and the cop was like, man, he pull up. I'm looking like, oh shit, something going on at the gas station, right? And he walk up on me and says, you were doing like 85 to get up in here. And I'm looking at him. I'm looking at the front of my car. I'm like, this is a joke, right? He says, what do you mean this is a joke? It's like, so he was just like on me. And I'm like, dude, I'm driving. You see how low the front of my car is? There's no way I could have been doing, I would have tore the front of my car up, right? And he was like, he was on one, right? And the other cop was standing in the back. Of course, he had his hand on his gun and he's standing looking. And then I think he recognized me and started smiling. And the guy was like, have you been drinking? I said, no. I said, let's take the test right now. I ain't got time for this shit, man. And he was like, well, you're going to do the test. I said, no, I shut up, B, when I said it. I'd rather blow in the tube. And so he's like, no. He tried to do the test where you like stand. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And then when you got to do something like this, and I'm not doing that either. Yeah, no. Let's get this shit over, man, because I haven't been drinking. And I hadn't been drinking. I just left home. And he was just finally, he was just an asshole. And then the part I didn't like was like, a lot of people start gathering and looking and like, oh shit, like Robert Ory about to get fucking tased and beat up by a cop.
Oh damn!
And this was before cell phones. So and then he eventually said, all right, have a good day. I'm like, dude, and it was just so weird, man, because he said I was speeding. I said, just because I'm driving a Ferrari don't mean I was speeding.
Well, yeah, all he saw was the Ferrari.
Yeah,
he just assumed, Man.
Yeah, so that's the only. I've never had any.
No, I know you haven't. That's why I asked. I didn't know, even if it's just a little scuffle like that or something.
Yeah, I've had issues with cops with my middle son, like twice with my middle son, but other than that, I personally no.
Okay, interesting. Did you hear any of the Harrison Butker speech?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
I don't even know if we want to talk about this. We might just want to move on.
Okay,
from it, but
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
Can I say?
Go, man. It was on the sheet because I had a theory on it.
It was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear this theory.
Okay.
For whether you agree or disagree or whatever, for the people who are trying to get petitions out there to get him cut from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Come on.
Because of what he said, get a life. This is not as egregious as you want to think it is for a guy to lose his job. There have been guys who have put their hands on women who have gotten second and third opportunities in this league. There have been guys who've gotten in trouble with the law doing other things who have gotten second, third, and even fourth opportunities in this league. And you want somebody to sign a petition for him to get cut from the Kansas City Chiefs? Nah, y'all gone too far. Y'all lost me there. I'm sorry.
Well, at no point.
I don't agree with that.
At no point in the history of humankind has a decision been made because of a petition. It's never happened. Oh, well, there's 100,000 signatures on this petition. Well, in that case, we better hire Joe Schlub to come in here and kick and miss a field goal and win us the Super Bowl.
It's the dumbest stuff in the world.
Stupid. It's stupid as hell. All right, here was my theory. This is why everyone got sideways. So Harrison Butker was doing this whole thing about, during this commencement speech at Benedictine College, religious college, saying, I'm sure that there's a lot of women getting degrees today, but I'm sure you're most excited about the kids and your marriage and all the homemaking that you're going to do because my wife's a homemaker and she's never been happier. And everybody got all up in arms about it. Oh, we got petitions and all that other shit. Here was why I think everyone got up in arms with it. All of the women that day, if you choose to be, I'm sure all of them were probably excited about the idea of having a family and getting married and stuff, because that's like a normal human thing. But the day that this happened, you were there to celebrate the completion of 4 years and God knows how much money to get a degree to better your future. And I think that his message necessarily wasn't wrong. It was just totally at the wrong time. Like, they're here for their future. And you're just like, well, I'm sure you're most excited to have kids and make me dinners. And it's like, okay, hold on. While this is fine that that's what you believe, bud, you're missing the mark. All the people here are here to celebrate the fact they finished their education, which they are going to use to better their future, start a career, and do all this stuff. And you kind of pick that moment to go, well, I'm sure you're probably most excited about having babies. And I'm like, look, dude, I just feel like the reason everyone's up in arms is because his timing was wrong. It's not so much the message. It was the timing.
His timing was
really off.
He couldn't have had worse timing.
Really,
I didn't even listen to it.
Oh, dude, it's just weird. For me, I always run that through the filter of weird, only because it's like, if you're giving a commencement address at a university, I would imagine the things that run through your brain is, I want to share some things that I've learned along the way, and I want to inspire you to go out and do something cool. And that message didn't really kind of line up with that idea of go out and conquer the world. He's like, go out and make your husband dinner. I was kind of like, all right, bud.
And I think his wife is a chemist or a physician or something like that.
Look, I'm happy this works for them. Good. That's great. That's awesome. Lean into your faith. I've nothing wrong with it.
Right.
I think you might have didn't read the room. All right, let's do quickly do Big Shot of the Week, and then we'll do Walmart or Waffle House. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to a UK firefighter named James Trounsden. Here's why. He was called to assist another fire station on a fire, and unfortunately, they sadly found a woman passed away in the home. She died from the fire. But she had a dog, a small terrier, and he was trying to get the dog out of the house. The dog didn't want to leave, so he finally coaxed the dog. The dog jumps up to his arms, and once he's got the dog in his arms, the dog didn't want to leave his side. So he goes ahead and adopts the dog, brings it home, integrates it with his family, and his kids love the dog. And apparently now him and the dog are, like, connected forever. Like, the dog won't leave his side. The dog goes everywhere with him, like, immediately connected to him. So he didn't have to do that. He could have just said, look, not my thing. Put it in a shelter. It'll find a home. And he didn't. He took it home. And he found his forever home. He said, out of tragedy, sometimes there comes happiness. I just thought that was dope. And if you ever want a Big Shot of the Week, help an animal. Because I seem to give a lot of those away to people that help dogs.
Yeah, it's funny, but I know this story because of my wife. My wife, Candace, like, loves dogs. I mean, I don't know where she got it from, but she'll sit there and watch those things on Instagram and TikTok, and then like sometimes I look over, she's looking at the sad one. She's got tears. I'm like, what's that? Just turn it.
Yep.
But it's so sad. Well, go to the next one.
This man saved an ostrich, and she's just crying her eyes out. Yeah.
So she's anytime someone taking a dog and the dog can just attach onto her like that, that means it was looking for love. And at the end of the day, dogs know good people, man. So I think something in that dog realized that guy and his family were good people.
I think that's right. All right, well, let's goof off and have some fun. Oh, here we go. The game of the Dirty South. Rob was here recently. I hope he got his Walmart and Waffle House exercise in while he was down here in the Dirty South. I have 8 stories. It's just your job to tell me if it happened in a Walmart or if it happened in a Waffle House. Let's go with story number 1. Police were called to this location after a homeless man walked in, went straight to the nearest corner, took a piss on the wall. That's it. That's the whole story. Man walked in, went straight to the nearest corner, didn't talk to anybody. Huge leak.
I'm going to go to Waffle House on this one.
They called the cops. All right. Rob says immediately, Waffle House. What do you think, B?
Yeah, I'm going to go Waffle House.
Okay. Both wrong. Walmart.
Damn.
And straight to the corner of a Walmart. Took a huge pee. And now here's the thing, though. When you walk into a Walmart, there's usually bathrooms pretty
Yes.
well, like here, restroom, like you don't have to pee in the corner, bro. But
Yeah, and that's why I said Waffle House, because as soon as you walk into Walmart, you look to the left or the right, there's a restroom.
there's
You
usually
just-
restroom.
And peeing in the corner is such Waffle House activity.
It really is. It really is. It could have been a customer at the Waffle House.
But you know that if you really think about it now, if you think about Waffle House, there's really no corner to pee in because there are booths in every corner.
It's true. And
very
if
true.
you find a
Yeah.
corner, it's usually the corner where the bathroom is. So for you to
Exactly.
pee in the corner next to the bathroom really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
All right, story number 2. You're each 0 for 1. 2 men were arrested outside this location after customers called to report a huge fight in the parking lot. The caveat, both men were dressed like French maids and had to be separated by police. Was it Halloween? No, it was a random Wednesday in June. So a random Wednesday night, huge fight in the parking lot, both guys dressed like French maids. Seems like it's a bit or a setup or something, right? Can't be real. But they both got arrested. So who the hell knows? Did it happen outside of a Walmart or did it happen outside of a Waffle House?
B, what do you think?
Everybody's thinking.
I kind of got some ideas here.
I can smell the wood burning. Everybody's thinking.
I think since number one is at night, and you dress like that, I don't think you'd be going into a Walmart dressed like that. You're more comfortable going into a Waffle House dressed like that. So I'm gonna go with a Waffle House.
Okay.
I can't say that you wouldn't go into a Walmart like that, especially at a certain time of night.
Plus, we all know the parameters of this game. It really doesn't matter. You know?
But again, that is also Waffle House activity. Hey, I just can't get away from Waffle House.
So
I'm
you're
gonna go
both going
House.
Waffle House. And you're both 0 for 2. Happened outside of a Walmart.
I talked myself out of it.
You walked yourself right out the door, man. You had the right answer. You're like, sleep. All right, come on. Redemption time. Here we go. Story 3. No arrests were made, but police were called to this location on reports of child welfare as a female employee was running around working with a very young baby on her hip. She brought her baby to work. Customers were concerned for the baby's well-being. The woman was sent home. Was she working at a Walmart or was she working at a Waffle House?
Walmart.
Walmart.
Waffle House.
Damn.
Hey, you guys are 0 for 3 today. Holy crap.
Wait a minute. Out of all the activity that happens at Waffle Houses, people call because a child is running around?
Goddamn.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. No, the child wasn't running around. Child was on her hip. She was carrying the baby while
While she was cooking?
While she was serving tables and pouring coffee, and I think that's why the cops were called.
That ain't no reason to call no child
Oh,
protective
come on, you know
services.
people. They butt their nose in everybody else's freaking business without even thinking about it. That's how people are, right?
You know,
One person
mothers,
is triggered. Oh, forget it.
mamas around the world
Start a
have
petition.
cooked and served,
Oh, of
holding
course.
the baby in one
course.
hand,
Of course
and
they
then
have.
cooking in the other.
Of course they have. But there wasn't people around to be triggered by it. Nowadays, everybody's triggered by everything.
Oh, everybody, man, pull your skirts down.
For real. All right, no arrests were made at this location, even though a manager had to escort a married man and his wife from the premises after refusing to take their hands out of each other's pants. Were they removed from a Walmart or a Waffle House?
Walmart. Because you can do that at Waffle House.
0 for 4. That was a Waffle House. Waffle
What Waffle
House.
Houses are these, dog?
Dude, I don't know. It's a story that was online. I read it. I laughed. I wrote it down. Happened inside of a Waffle House.
I'm calling bullshit on some of these stories.
You
man.
are 0 for 4. Don't bullshit nothing.
There's no way.
0 for 4. You are
Okay.
just terrible shooting percentage today. All right. Number 5. Is anyone going to get one right at this point?
We
We're
gonna
halfway
find out.
through.
Yep.
Sanitary issues are at the heart of this next story. As at this location, an old woman had very clearly pooped in her pants. But just kind of kept along like nothing was going on, nothing had happened. When she refused to speak with the manager about it, police were called. She admitted to the officers that arrived on the scene that she was baked. Didn't even realize she had done it.
Walmart.
And everybody's on the board. Thank God. It's happening at Walmart. Everybody's on the board. Yeah, you can shit yourself in a Waffle House. Nobody cares.
I just don't think there's a manager on duty at a Waffle House.
and they're probably shitting. They're in the bathroom, too. All right, yeah, you're right. There's rarely ever a manager on duty at Waffle House, which kind of is unfortunate for this next story. A manager chased a half-naked man out of this location after the man walked in, took off his shirt, and proceeded to pour an entire gallon of milk over himself in what customers referred to as a sultry manner.
Walmart.
All right.
Walmart.
Customers were more stunned than frightened. He promptly booked it after management came charging after him.
Walmart, because you can easily access some milk at a Walmart.
Yeah.
Happened inside of a Waffle House.
How does he get to the milk?
He brought the milk with him. He walked in with a gallon of milk.
Oh, he walked in with
poured it all over himself.
That's true.
Pour some milk on me.
Exactly right. In a sultry manner, which means that like White Snake or Def Leppard was playing. All right, we are currently 1 for 6.
And B-Dog probably like, Rob, why do you even know that damn song?
Oh my God, come on.
Oh, I know that song.
Oh, I was just like,
all right.
I just not like I went to those establishments that play that song a lot.
All right, we got to up our percentage here. Right now we're D-Lo in the playoffs. We're 1 for 6. All right, here we go. Felt like a shot. Story number 7. Once again, a manager at the center of this shit show. After he found 2 employees having sex behind the building, and like any responsible manager, he joined in. When other employees called the police, all 3 were arrested and promptly fired. Did it happen behind a Walmart or behind a Waffle House?
I gotta go Waffle House.
Harper looks disgusted. I don't even know if he's thinking or he's just disgusted with the story.
I'm gonna go this route again, even though it might get me again.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Waffle House, but I might be wrong.
All right, can I tell you where you missed here on all this? By the happened outside Walmart. 3 employees are involved in this. That's everybody at a Waffle House. There would be nobody inside. There was a manager and 2 employees. That's the entire staff of a Waffle House. It happened.
Okay. What's the problem?
There wouldn't be a freaking single person inside the Waffle House.
I'm still trying to figure out what the issue is.
I guess that's your most time you go to a Waffle House. You're like, hello? Fucking what? Anybody here? All right.
Oh, my goodness.
1 for 7, both of you.
Dang, look, Rob, us and Jokic. Can't you?
1 for 7. All right, last story. Finally, it was an employee who stepped into a conversation between an old woman and her granddaughter as the young girl was telling her grandmother she wanted to be a veterinarian when she went to college. The employee shut it down, saying the world needs real doctors, not fake horsey doctors. They complained to management and left. So, listen, little girl, the world needs real doctors, not fake horsey doctors. Said by an employee of a Walmart or a Waffle House.
I'm going to go Walmart here.
I'm going to go Waffle House here because they got to be hearing this conversation. I'm just going to go Waffle House.
All right. Well, your winner, because we have to have one now because you both went 2 different ways. Robert Ory. Robert Ory. Yeah, it happened inside of a Waffle House.
I just feel like the conversation could be heard better in a Waffle House, smaller area.
That was the clue there. Overheard the conversation. Usually that stuff goes down inside of a Waffle House. Well, congratulations. You guys were both horrible.
God damn!
Hey, but I came through the clutch, though.
That's what you do.
Winning that last one.
When the chips are down, chuck that ball to Rob in the corner.